It's Monarchs baseball, and it's on the internet here tonight as the Lake Erie Monarchs get set to face off with the Grand Lake Mariners one final time here in 2018. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Kevin Peel, proud to be bringing you the accounts and descriptions of this ball game here tonight. Grand Lake Mariners are 15-21 on the season. The Lake Erie Monarchs are 16-19-1, with that tie coming against the Saginaw Sugar Beets on Sunday. And so it should be quite a matchup here as the Monarchs look to continue their better play in the month of July. And the first pitch from Jonathan Fincher on the way. A fastball over the outside corner for strike one. We are underway a minute early today at 7:04 p.m. here in Flat Rock, Michigan at Flat Rock Field. Blake Crossing is the batter, and the pitch is downstairs for ball one. 1-1 count on Blake Crossing. Jonathan Fincher, starting pitcher here tonight against Crossing, who will bat on the right side, swinging a foul tip into the mitt for strike two. 1-2 is the count on Blake Crossing. Crossing hitting .323 with 17 RBIs. 1-2, a check swing on a fastball high and away. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Crossing. He is a switch hitter, hitting from the right side from Dartmouth College, a junior from Noonan, Georgia. 2-2, back to the screen it goes. Behind home plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still the count on Blake Crossing. 6'1", 185 pounds, upcoming junior. Another 2-2, high and away. And the count fills up on the leadoff man, Blake Crossing. Here on this July 25th. Monarchs have just 4 games remaining after tonight, 3 of them here at this ballpark. 3-2, fastball, rung up, strike 3. Blake Crossing is out of there on strikes. And that's the first out here in the bottom of the first. Defensively for the Lake Erie Monarchs in the outfield left to right, Schwarzenberger, O'Laughlin, Dyke, Balgard, and Lambeau are on the left side of the infield at third and short. Prater and Watson on the right side at second and first. Fincher and Gaudreau the battery. First pitch strike, a fastball to Evan Spry, who gets the start at first base tonight, 0-1. Spry with a .274 average and 10 runs batted in. Fastball is on a line back to the screen behind home. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Spry hitting on the left side against the lefty Jonathan Fincher. And the pitch is out the outside corner, strike 3. And how goes Evan Spry? 2 Ks to start off the ball game, just the way you drew it up. If you are Jonathan Fincher, the pitcher from Louisiana Tech, making the start tonight for the Monarchs. Jake McCaw, the batter, another lefty with 2 down, bases empty, and no score in the first. And the pitch finishes below the zone. Ball 1 to McCaw. Gets the start in right field tonight, does McCaw. Slashied .283 with 2 homers and 23 driven in. And a fastball fouled away to the left of home. A ball and a strike. Jonathan Fincher sporting the number 13. And the pitch, a liner heading well foul out of play. Down the left side, a ball and 2 strikes. On McCaw from Illinois State, 6'3", 195 pounds, upcoming sophomore from Bloomington, Illinois. And he will chop one over to second. Prater fields, throws on to first for the final out here in a 1-2-3, top of the first inning for Jonathan Fincher, just the way you drew it up. Middle of the first here at Flat Rock Field. We are just underway, and the Monarchs are coming to bat for the first time in a scoreless affair. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Bottom half of the first coming up in Flat Rock. Monarchs and Mariners, Game 2 in the finale of this series. And we have no score as the Monarchs will come to bat in the bottom of the first against right-handed pitcher Max Gray. Here's the lineup that will oppose Max Gray tonight. Top three in the lineup, Caleb Balgard, Will Prater, Alex Lambo. Middle three of Robert Bell, Andrew Dyke, and Casey O'Laughlin. Jake Gaudreau, Keegan Watson, and Zach Schwarzenberger, the bottom three in the order for the Monarchs tonight. Caleb Balgard stepping in against Max Gray. And on the right side is the right-handed batting Caleb Balgard. Team high batting average of .336, also leads the team with 5 home runs and is tied for second on the team with 18 runs batted in. And the pitch is high and tight to him, ball 1 from Gray. Caleb Balgard from Indiana University, he is a Hoosier. 1-0, and a pop-up right side of the infield. Acker is exploring the grounds over there while he waits for the pop-up to come down. The catch is made. Out number 1. Defensively for the Grand Lake Mariners tonight, Williams, Fitzsimmons, McCaw left to right in the outfield. Diaz at third, Crossing at short. On the right side of the infield, Acker at second, Spry at first, Gray the pitcher, Adams the catcher to round out the battery here today. Now Will Prater will step in, one quick out in the bottom of the first, and he puts a bunt down, third base side, fielded with a bare hand, slinging it sidearm way too late was Gray, and that is a bunt single for Will Prater. Well executed to get the Monarchs in the hit column first here tonight. Prater will raise that batting average up above .306, 3 RBIs for Prater this year. Monarchs the team with the first hit in the game, and that will bring up Alex Lambo, starting shortstop in the 3-hole. Pitch from Gray, swing and a miss. Strike 1, Lambo well behind the off-speed offering. Lambo hitting .288, 2 homers, 20 runs batted in this year for the Monarchs. 36th game he has competed in. That is a team high. 0-1. Fastball is lined to center, right at Fitzsimmons, and he will make a catch coming in quickly and aggressively, but able to haul it in. Prater will have to retreat back to first base. And there's 2 down here in the bottom of the first with 1 aboard and a scoreless affair. Now Robert Bell will stand in. Designated hitter once again tonight for the Monarchs. Max Gray works from the set position and throws. It's low and inside, ball 1. Robert Bell hitting from the left side. He is a switch hitter. .275 batting average, 3 long balls, 18 RBIs. 32nd game he has competed in for the white, navy, and green. 1-0. And Bell will nail one back to the screen behind home. A ball and a strike on Robert Bell. He's from Bethune-Cookman and Palm Coast, Florida. Will Prater gets his lead off of first base. A look towards first from Gray, who comes set, neck high, and delivers the 1-1. And it's fisted foul down the third base line, bringing the count to a ball and 2 strikes on Robert Bell. Max Gray is from Indianapolis, Indiana, 5'11", 185 pounds. Upcoming senior at Tennessee Wesleyan College. A little bit of an older pitcher here in this league. He will turn 23 later this year. 1-2 is down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Bell. November 9th, in fact, is the day that Gray will celebrate his 23rd birthday. Gray shakes off a sign, now another. Looks like he's a little bit confused with the signs from Adams. Now they agree, and a 2-2 is popped up. This will work its way foul behind our scorer's table down the third base side and over near diamond number 4. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It is a 4-field cluster here at Flat Rock Community Fields, a beautiful venue. Many youth tournaments held here, just like last week, which ultimately made the Monarchs start at 8:05. 2-2 fouled off the inside of the ankle. Bell, he's going to hobble that one off. Deuces wild with 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Will Prater is at first. No score in the game. Monarchs had that 8:05 start against the Locos as the youth tournaments wrapped up. And of course, rain was in the forecast all day, but we really didn't get any and didn't get much on Saturday either. That was supposed to be an all-day rain event here in Flat Rock. Well, at least in Toledo, where I reside, there was essentially no rain on Saturday. 2-2, runner takes off, fastball rung him up, strike 3, and the runner was safe down at second, but it's not going to matter. The strikeout will occur first. Bell is punched out. First strikeout for Max Gray, and the Monarchs are not able to capitalize on a 1-out single. We are through an inning here in Flat Rock. No score. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Top of the second inning beginning here in Flat Rock, Michigan. Monarchs and Mariners tilting one final time in 2018. No scores. The second inning will commence. Tyson Hayes, Stephen Fitzsimmons, and Logan Adams, the middle three in this Grand Lake Mariners order, will stride to the plate. A Mariners team that has lost 8 consecutive games, a season worst slide coming into today. Pitch outside, ball 1 from Jonathan Fincher as he throws to Tyson Hayes. Hayes hitting .257, 2 homers, 13 RBIs. 1-0 is a chopper over the mound towards second. Prater cannot field it. Took a tough hop on him, and it will be a hit for Tyson Hayes. First hit of the game for the Grand Lake Mariners. We'll see what that one is called here. It could be changed as well later on. We're going to rule it a hit for right now at this point in time. At least the official scorer will. So Hayes will get on base. Now a bunt shown and a ball outside, 1-0 to Stephen Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons struggled this year at the plate, 138 average with 5 RBIs, 25th game he's appeared in. Fastball line towards left center field, coming over O'Laughlin, still coming, reaching up, can't make the diving catch, and it gets behind him to the fence. Tyson Hayes around third, he's going to try and score. It will be a triple and an RBI for Stephen Fitzsimmons, who will pick up his first triple of the year. That's just the 4th 3-base hit of the season for the Grand Lake Mariners, and they are on the board first here today, ahead 1-0. Well, that was a bomb off the bat of Fitzsimmons into the alleyway, and O'Laughlin did his best to try and track it down, but he was not quite able to get there. Strike 1 to Logan Adams, the catcher. 305 average, 21st game for him, and 9 RBIs. Mariners again on the board first in this series. 1-0-1, misses Lone outside, a ball and a strike. One-one, fastball outside, but Adams was able to foul it away. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. 2 hits to start off this ball game in the second inning for the Grand Lake Mariners. 1-2 outside. 2-2 to Logan Adams. Grand Lake got themselves off to a 4-0 lead after just a half inning yesterday, and then the Monarchs were able to rally for the victory. Fastball a little bit low and outside. Full count here on Logan Adams, who did not see the field last night. Tyson Hayes was the starting catcher in that ball game. 3-2, swung and fouled out of play. Down the right field line, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Logan Adams. 7th pitch of the at-bat will be coming up. Fincher down 1-0 here in the top of the second. 3-2 from Jonathan. And another foul ball, same exact spot essentially, headed well out of play over the first base grandstands. 3-2 on Adams, who grips the bat barehanded, hitting from the right side against the lefty Fincher. 3-2, swing and a miss. Jammed him with a fastball. He couldn't pull his hands in, and Adams will strike out. Fincher with 3 punch-outs already in the contest. Just 6 batters deep for him on the mound, but the Mariners have the 1-0 lead in the top of the second inning. I'll bring up R.J. Williams. Williams with a 208 average and 3 RBIs this year. Left-handed batter that was in the 9-hole last night. The pitch. And a fastball over the outside corner at the knees. 0-1 to the starting left fielder, R.J. Williams. He was in right field yesterday for this Grand Lake team. 0-1. A elevated fastball that Williams swung through for strike 2. Another beautiful night for baseball. We had the rain shower before yesterday's game between 4 and 4:30, which delayed batting practice, but today, no rain at all. 0-2 is low and away. Ball and 2 strikes on Williams. It's in the low to mid-80s. It was 85 degrees still at 6:30, although we're almost an hour later. Mostly clear skies and southwest winds at 5 miles an hour. 1-2. And swung and fouled back to the screen by Williams. He stays alive at 1-2. So another sunny day here in southeast Michigan. Just the weather we need to get this homestand in. 1-2 fastball was nailed foul off the third base dugout. And the players had to go ducking towards the bleacher portion behind the protected fence. Fortunately for Monarchs, no one hurt. That was a hard-hit baseball. 6th pitch of the at-bat from Fincher, coming. And it was just outside, maybe a touch low. Close pitch, called a ball. Even the count at 2 on Williams. Runners at third, Stephen Fitzsimmons. 1-0 Mariners, top 2. 2-2. And on the hands, a little sinking line drive, which stays fair. Balgard is to sling it sidearmed and cannot get it there in time. Infield single for R.J. Williams, who has a ton of speed. He was handcuffed by the pitch. Fitzsimmons scores 2-0 Grand Lake here in the top of the second inning. So 3 hits and 4 batters in this top of the second inning. And Grand Lake has the 2-0 lead. So another fast start for the Mariners. Fastball outside, ball 1 to Justin Diaz. Swatting 293 with a homer and 4 RBIs. This is his 21st game that he has competed in. 1-0. And a fly ball scorched towards left. Coming towards the line is Schwarzenberger. He dives, and he made the catch as he extended out his right arm all the way. Fell to the ground, made the grab to rob Justin Diaz. Great diving play. Diaz robbed of at least a knock. Back to first goes R.J. Williams. 2 outs in the second. And that could be a momentum-shifting play. A ball that was descending quickly towards the ground. Schwarzenberger had to get on his horse moving towards the line and made the catch. 2 outs and a man at first for Van Acker. Fastball up and away, ball 1. Acker trying to break out of his 0 for 17 slump, although he did walk last night in the 8th. Acker hitting 162 with 8 RBIs. He swings and pops one up to the right side. Watson investigating near the first base dugout. Races under it to make the catch for the final out here in a busy top of the second for Grand Lake. They send 6 to the plate. They score 2 runs on 3 hits, and will leave a man at first. Middle of the second inning, Monarchs down a pair, 2-0. This is your home for Monarchs baseball. Andrew Dyke leads off the events in the bottom of the second inning. The Lake Erie Monarchs down early, 2-0. As the right-handed batter opposes Max Gray. Fastball tails inside, ball 1. Nearly hitting Dyke. The Illinois Fighting Illini baseball player is hitting .282 this summer with 3 homers and 12 RBIs. And he breaks his bat, a little number to the left of the mound. Fielded barehanded by Gray, slings it sidearm to first for the out. If that would have traveled just a little bit further, it would have had a shot to get past Gray and maybe be an infield single, but instead, Dyke is out of there at 1-3. 1 up, 1 down here in the second. That will bring up Casey O'Laughlin, hitting .247 with a homer and 10 RBIs. Pitch to him, a fastball is popped up, shallow left center, just onto the grass. Blake Crossing reaches up. 3 pitches, 2 outs here in the home half of the second. Just 15 pitches for Max Gray. Just the type of inning you need to start out with after your team gave you 2 runs of support in the top half of this inning. Here's the catcher, Jake Goudreau, hitting .230, 3 homers, 10 RBIs. Fastball outside, ball 1. Goudreau, the starting catcher today for the Monarchs from Boston College. 1-0. Fastball outside corner. Ball and a strike on Goudreau, who hails from Southwick, Mass. Upcoming junior, 6'3", 245 pounds. 1-1. Fastball is fouled off to the left of home, well over the third base dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Max Gray gets the sign from Adams and delivers. And a curveball is bounded foul, first base line. Just a little chopper hit by Goudreau, still 1-2. Max Gray over 4 hours from home in his spot in Flat Rock. 1-2, breaking ball rung up Goudreau, strike 3. Max Gray has 2 strikeouts, both looking, and he throws an 8-pitch, 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the second. Let's go to the third. Mariners in front of the Monarchs, 2-0. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Top of the order for the Grand Lake Mariners in the top of the third. And Grand Lake, again, the early leader here tonight by a count of 2-0. Blake Crossing, Evan Spry, Jake McCaw in the third against Jonathan Fincher. Shreveport, Louisiana native deals high and away ball one to start off the inning to Crossing, who was rung up in the first. Monarchs in the home whites tonight. Swinging a foul ball out of play. To the right of home, a ball and a strike. Blue pinstripes, navy blue. Monarchs across the chest in green with blue trim. Also the numbers on the back, green with blue trim. 1-1 fouled away again by Crossing, 1-2. Monarchs have the tri-colored caps, signature cap. White on the front, navy blue on the sides, and green on the back with the GLSCL logo. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Crossing. Fans for the second time tonight. One quick out here in the third. Crossing will hand off his bat to Evan Spry, who strides to the plate next. Spry struck out on 3 pitches in the first inning. 2-zip Grand Lake, top of the third inning. Nobody on and 1 out. The pitch. Fastball at the knees, outside corner. Strike 1 to Evan Spry. Monarchs also have the signature stirrups on today in green with a navy blue and 2 white stripes. Spry fouls away a 2-seam fastball that was coming in on his hands. No balls and 2 strikes. The white portion of the cap contains the Monarchs' happy, smiling head logo. 0-2. The pitch must have been high because it had the outside corner, 1-2. Mark Hanawald calling the balls and strikes behind home plate tonight. Mark Kuhn on the base paths. 1-2. Rung him up. Strike 3. Slider on the outside corner, and not been a good start to the game for Evan Spry. Seen 7 pitches, and 6 of them have been strikes. He has been out via the K twice. Here's Jake McCaw. Nobody aboard. 2 outs here in the third. Pitches outside and high ball 1 to McCaw. Grounded out to Prater at second in the first. Lefty-lefty matchup, 1-0. And a fly ball is hoisted foul down the third base line, just out of the field of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jake McCaw has the long socks on tonight. The deep blue. 1-1 is low below the zone. 2-1. And the Grand Lake Mariners jerseys have a deep blue color. 2-1. Fastball, fly ball, foul to the left. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mariners have their lettering on the front of their jerseys on the chest in green. A 2-2 pitch, and it's grounded over to Will Prater. Fields ankle high, toss on to Watson. 1-2-3 inning once again against the top 3 in the order, this time in the third for Jonathan Fincher. Middle of the third inning here at Flat Rock Field, 2-0 Mariners. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. 8, 9, and 1 in the order here in the bottom of the third for the Monarchs. 2-0 Grand Lake leads in the set finale. Pitch from Max Gray is a fastball low and away. Ball 1 to Keegan Watson, who gets the start at first base tonight for the Monarchs. And the pitch is grounded up the middle. Crossing trying to get to it. He will not be able to. It's into center field. A base hit. Good start to the inning for the Monarchs. Their second hit of the night. They're being out hit 3-2 and trail on the scoreboard 2-0. Here in the bottom of the third, a man aboard for Zach Schwarzenberger. Gets the start in left field tonight, does Zach Schwarzenberger, switch hitter from the University of Toledo. And the pitch, fastball outside, ball 1. Keegan Watson from Nebraska getting a modest lead over there at first. 1-0. Fastball is high. 2 balls and no strikes on Zach Schwarzenberger. Schwarzenberger this year for the Monarchs, hitting .247 with no homers and 9 RBIs. 3 RBI game last night for Zach. 2-0 is off the end of the bat, fouled away to the left of home. 2 balls and a strike. Schwarzenberger appearing in his 32nd game and has scored 16 runs this year for the Monarchs. Also has walked 13 times. Gray's 2-1. Fastball flown to deep left center field, going back on it Fitzsimmons and Williams. And is he able to make the catch? It appears he did. Yes, he did. What a catch by Stephen Fitzsimmons, who lunged into the alleyway near the track, robbed Zach Schwarzenberger of extra bases. And Keegan Watson had to scramble back to first. What a highlight reel play for Stephen Fitzsimmons in deep left center field. Tough one to swallow for Zach Schwarzenberger, who tattooed that baseball. 1 out, bottom 3, a man still at first, 2-0 Grand Lake, and now the top of the order, Caleb Balgard. Check swing on a slider low and away from Gray, ball 1. Balgard popped out his first time up here today. Gray is ready in the 1-0. As a foul ball hit to the first base side. Well out of play, 1-1. Well, happy to have Kevin and Kathy Myers tuning in tonight. Of course, their son, Chris Myers, University of Toledo Rocket, and also the roommate of the man who just got robbed, Zach Schwarzenberger, out in left center. No start tonight for Myers. 1-1, a bouncer in the dirt. It will kick away from Adams, and Keegan Watson will advance up to second on the wild pitch. 2-1 count on Caleb Balgard. First man into scoring position for the Monarchs here tonight. So happy to have Kevin and Kathy aboard. Chris is from Miamisburg, Ohio, near Dayton. 2-1 from Gray as a ground ball through the left side, a base hit into left. Watson will trot over to third. Runners at the corners with 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning as the Monarchs are starting to get something going. Caleb Balgard has his first hit number 3 for the Monarchs. Just imagine if that ball would have landed in left center field. This could have quite possibly been a 2-2 game right now. Instead, it's still 2-0, but the Monarchs are threatening with Will Prater, who already has a bunt single here tonight. Second baseman from Western Carolina. And the pitch. Fastball skips in. Nice block by Adams. Keep it in front of him. Ball 1. Chris Myers, we were talking about him last night. He was able to get on base 4 times out of the 3 hole in the lineup, so a little surprising to not see him in there, DHing today at least. 1-0, runner takes off. It's fouled to the screen behind home. Ball and a strike. Chris Myers really had himself quite a game back on July 11th when Grand Lake was able to triumph 14-3 over the Monarchs. Myers had a 2-run homer in the first inning in that game to get them on the board. Also had a 3-run double in the second. That was part of a 10-run inning. And after 2 in Salina on that night, the Mariners were ahead 12-0 over the Monarchs and put them away that early on. 1-1. Fastball at the knees for a strike. They throw down to second, and the runner is going to be chased back, but Keegan Watson is not going to head home, and Caleb Balgard got into a pickle on purpose as Blake Crossing was waiting for Balgard to slide into the tag, and it just never happened as he retreated back to first, and then he was tagged out. So he's not very happy with Keegan Watson down at third base, and there's now 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Monarchs still down 2-0 to the Mariners. The pitch from Gray, and Prater will waste one. Still 1-2 on Will Prater. Balgard was single-handedly trying to get into a pickle to get that run home, and now instead a pop-up to shallow center field. Fitzsimmons crossing and Acker all converging. It'll be Acker with his back to the infield making the catch, and that's it in the bottom of the third for the Monarchs. They get 2 singles in the inning to the Monarchs, but they will leave a man 90 feet from home, and they do not score. We're through 3 here at Flat Rock Field, 2-0 Grand Lake. This is your home for Lake Erie Monarchs baseball. Tyson Hayes leads off the top of the 4th inning. Monarchs come close but do not break through with runs. Ball delivered low to Tyson Hayes, ball 1. That was in the bottom of the 3rd that the Monarchs were not able to break onto the board. Tyson Hayes with a single and a run scored in the 2nd. Fastball high and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Hayes, Fitzsimmons, and Adams, 4, 5, and 6 in the order due up. As the 4th inning comes along, let's take a look at the playoff picture, and doing so through looking at the scoreboard. And we look at the top of the 3rd inning right now. The Irish Hills Leprechauns and the St. Clair Green Giants taking on each other in Tecumseh, Ontario. St. Clair, they are in 1st in the North Division, and they lead the Leprechauns 2-0 in the 3rd. 2-0. Fastball over the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike on Hayes. Irish Hills right now 5 back, 3 out of a playoff spot at this point in time. Fastball low, 3-1 on Hayes. So Irish Hills needs some wins, just like the Monarchs need essentially to win out and have Saginaw lose out to have a chance. Swinging a pop-up foul out of play to the right. 3-2 on Hayes. Speaking of those Saginaw Sugar Beets, they are not obliging. They're playing at Dow Diamond tonight, the home of the Great Lakes Loons, the low A affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers. 3-2 grounded down the third base line, just foul past Balgard. Count remains full. So a very cool spectacle. I hear great things about Dow Diamond. Sugar Beets playing there, hosting the Jazz, ahead 7-1 in the third. Not good news for the Monarchs. I think the Monarchs are mathematically eliminated if Saginaw even wins one game the rest of the way. 3-2 out of play. This time to the right. Full count remains. Hamilton Joe is leading the Xenia Scouts 2-1 down in Hamilton in the second. 3-2 and a bounding ball to the screen behind home. That'll be the fourth foul ball of the at-bat for Hayes. And a ninth pitch of the at-bat will be coming from Fincher, who started the inning with 50. Galleon Graders, they're still fighting for their playoff spot, leading the Hamilton Joes by a half game in the South for the third and final spot. 3-2, splinter bat towards short. Balgard doesn't make the play. Lambeau does. Throw over to first, got his man. An off-balance throw from Lambeau on a broken bat ground ball.
Center fielder, number 11.
And Hayes just thrown out by Lambeau for the initial out here in the fourth. So Galleon doing a great job of holding on so far to that half-game lead over Hamilton for that final playoff spot. Monarchs may have a little say in who gets in to the South Division play-in game. Called strike to Steven Fitzsimmons, 0-1. Fitzsimmons with an RBI triple back in the second to put the Grand Lake Mariners on the board. They've added one since and lead 2-0 in the fourth. Breaking ball for a ball in the dirt, 1-1. Licking County Settlers and Cincinnati Steam playing in Cincinnati tonight, bottom two, and that has no score yet. And now hit by the pitch is Fitzsimmons. Getting on base the hard way this time. Here in the top of the fourth, first man aboard with one out. Monarchs down 2. Cincinnati is ahead by a game in the South Division right now. 2 wins more than the Southern Ohio Copperheads, who are a bit hurt by that rainout against the Monarchs earlier on this year, a game that was supposed to be played in Athens. Fastball over the outside corner, strike one to Logan Adams, who has struck out today. So the Copperheads will have to win by percentage over Cincinnati to get that bye and not have to play on Tuesday. 0-1, a liner foul, hit hard down the first base side, 0-2. Muskegon Clippers, they are the next opponent of the Lake Erie Monarchs, and Muskegon doing the best they can to hang around for that final playoff spot in the North while hurting the Locos at the same time. 0-2, a high, towering pop-up to left. Trotting in Schwarzenberger, camps underneath it, makes the catch. Back to first goes Steven Fitzsimmons. 2 outs and a man at first for Grand Lake in the fourth, ahead 2-0. Clippers won last night's game against Lima to knock the Locos out of first place in the North. And so far, through 2+ innings, the Clippers have another lead, 2-0 against Lima. So the Monarchs are going to play a huge role, in fact, in deciding a couple playoff races. Fastball, high ball, 1 to R.J. Williams, who has singled today. In regards to Galleon, who's currently in third in the Southern Division to end the season, and the Muskegon Clippers are trying to battle their way back. Now they have the man picked off. Fitzsimmons running to second. The throw got him in time, as Fincher had him picked off, and then Fitzsimmons caught stealing 1-3-6. And that's the final out in the fourth inning, as working just a pitch over the minimum in the fourth is Jonathan Fincher. And most importantly, Grand Lake doesn't score. 2-0 Mariners. Bottom of the fourth is next. This is your home for Lake Erie Monarchs baseball. Keep in touch with your favorite baseball team by heading over to LakeErieMonarchs.com, where there are up-to-date recaps, stats, a schedule for the season that's ending on Sunday, and also a link via the multimedia tab to the Monarchs YouTube page, which features highlights and full games. You can find that on Monarchs.com, LakeErieMonarchs.com. Fastball low to Alex Lambo. That's the start of the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 game. Mariners in front. 1-0 to Alex. And a ground ball hit foul to the left of the third base line. 1-1 strike. Lambo with a line out to center back in the first inning. 0 for 1 tonight. 3, 4, and 5 in the order due up against Max Gray. Slightly open stance for Lambo on the right side. 1-1 and on the hands and foul back to the fence behind home. 1-2 strikes. Lambo, the Seattle, Washington native, and also plays college baseball at Loyola Marymount University in California. 1-2 on Alex Lambo. Gray deals. And a curveball popped up to the right of first base. Coming over near the fence, running out of room, is Evan Spry. As it crashes against the bleachers down the first base side. 1-2. Max Gray has an 0-2 record with a 6.13 earned run average, making his 8th appearance and 2nd start of the season for Grand Lake. 14 2/3 innings pitch coming in. Fastball high and away. Even it up, 2-2 on Lambo. 11 strikeouts, 5 walks, 17 hits allowed through those prior 7 appearances. Another 2-2, swing and a miss, and Alex Lambo down on strikes. Third K of the game for Max Gray, and the leadoff man is retired by the pitcher here in the bottom of the fourth. Monarchs down a pair of runs. Next batter against Max Gray is Robert Bell, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The pitch from the righty Gray is in for ball 1. Last appearance for Gray came July 13th, 12 days ago, just before the All-Star break. Game against the Southern Ohio Copperheads at home. 1-0, swing and a miss. Even up the count, a ball and a strike. Part of this long slide for the Mariners, in which they have lost 8 consecutive games. 1-1 is chopped off of the ankle again of Robert Bell. That's the second time he's done that today, making it very painful on himself. And Bell having to take an extra moment here to shake things off. Max Gray made his first start of the season against the Copperheads on that Friday evening, taking the loss, and he's lost 2 straight appearances for Grand Lake. Allowing 7 runs, 6 earned, 7 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and faced 21 on that night. Gray comes home. Fastball a little low. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Bell. Nobody on, 1 out, bottom 4 in a 2-zip game. Pitch on the way. Fastball fouled off the catcher, Adams. To keep him alive, couldn't quite make the catch. Was Adams. Still 2-2 on Bell. Some white clouds out behind center field, not menacing. 2-2. Fly ball hit to shallow center. Coming in, Fitzsimmons. Still coming in. He'll camp under it, put it away for out number 2. Fitzsimmons on the run, making the catch. First 2 men retired in the bottom of the fourth by Max Gray, who has been great so far for the Mariners in a 2-0 game. Allowed just 3 hits. Now the batter is Andrew Dyke. 0 for 1 with a broken bat ground ball just to the left of the mound. First time up. Gray pitches. Fastball a little low. Ball 1. Still just north of 80 degrees. That wind very gentle coming from behind home plate tonight. 1-0. And Dyke, another pop-up. Center field. This will keep Fitzsimmons busy. He's coming in, calling off, crossing the shortstop. Makes the catch. Out number 3, and that is it. So the Monarchs will go down in order for the second time in 4 innings here tonight. We're through 4 innings at Flat Rock Field in Southeast Michigan. Grand Lake Mariners lead the Lake Erie Monarchs 2-0. This is your home for Lake Erie Monarchs baseball, monarchsradio.com. We're back here in the 5th. Grand Lake with a 2-0 advantage over the Lake Erie Monarchs. Kevin Peel here with you on a Wednesday evening. Thank you so much for tuning in to Monarchs Baseball. Jonathan Fincher will try and keep the Mariners offense at bay as he faces the bottom 3. R.J. Williams swings over the top of strike 1. Williams had an RBI infield single back in the 2nd. It's just a little line drive hit down the third base line, softly in front of Balgard, allowing the run to score. Pitch comes up and in, ball 1. R.J. Williams was up in the top of the 4th when it was Stephen Fitzsimmons was caught stealing. Pitch is low, 2-1. He was picked off, was Fitzsimmons, and then caught stealing, trying to get over to second base. 2-1 pitch. Fastball foul tipped at the plate. Evens up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the lefty, R.J. Williams. Monarchs and Mariners engaging each other one final time in 2018. Monarchs got the win 7-3 back on July 10th before falling 14-3 on the 11th. 2-2 just off the corner outside. Good idea from Fincher, but it missed just away. 3-2 on the way. Fastball grounded towards second. Prater backhands, got to throw quick to first, got his man. R.J. Williams just so quick down that first base line and got an extra step because he was coming from the left side. First out in the 5th. Nobody on for Grand Lake in a 2-0 game. And the batter's Justin Diaz, who flew into a fielder's choice, had a fly ball hit to left that Schwarzenberger appeared to initially make a nice catch on. Diaz lines it back to the screen, 0-1. But it was trapped out and left by Schwarzenberger. And then he was able to throw on to second to easily get the man at first, R.J. Williams. 0-1. Ground ball. Back towards the mound, gets past Fincher. Lambeau fields behind second base, throws hard to first, and Keegan Watson will reel it in. Another close play. Diaz out of there. 2 groundouts.
The second baseman,
Begin the
number
start
7,
of the 5th inning.
Van Acker.
Mariners by 2. Batters Van Acker. Now 0 for his last 18. Popped out in foul ground to Keegan Watson. Back in the second. The pitch. Fastball outside. Ball 1. Acker with the open stance on the right side against the lefty Fincher. 1-0. And it's outside 2-0. Jonathan Fincher is 6'3", 245 pounds, an upcoming sophomore at Louisiana Tech. Fastball at the knees, 2-1 on Acker. 1-1 record, 6.06 ERA, making his 10th start tonight. Nope, 10th appearance, 5th start. Fastball low and away. Acker ahead, 3-1. 32 2/3 innings pitched, 39 Ks, 14 walks, nice ratio, 45 hits allowed. 2-1. And behind a fastball is Acker. Fill it up, 3-2. Only win came back on June 20th for Fincher this year. Fouled back to the screen by Acker to stay alive. His last start was actually against those same Lima Locos, and he pitched well. 3-2, elevated fastball, swing and a miss for strike 3. Van Acker out of there. He's 0 for 2 now today. Fincher just went over the 80-pitch plateau. He's at 81, but he's worked through 5 innings and has allowed just 2 runs. Middle of the 5th, halfway home here at Flat Rock Field. The Monarchs are down 2-0. This is your home for Monarchs baseball, monarchsradio.com. Well, if you've been paying attention to social media lately on Twitter, we had a contest to see who would get a new era cap for the Monarchs, and it was given away tonight's game. And Joshua Reeves, who is the high school coach of Zach Schwarzenberger in Saline, was the winner here tonight. Congrats to Joshua Reeves. Swinging a foul ball from Casey O'Laughlin to begin the bottom of the 5th. 0-1, 1-2 zip Mariners. Max Gray working into his 5th inning. Threw just pitch number 50 a moment ago. O'Laughlin 0 for 1 with a pop-out. 0-1, fly ball, ripped to deep right field. Back goes McCaw, looks up helplessly. It's long gone over the fence. And Casey O'Laughlin has put the Monarchs on the board with a solo blast to right field. Mariners 2, Monarchs 1 in the bottom of the 5th. For Casey O'Laughlin, it's his 2nd home run of the season and RBI number 11 for the Northwestern Wildcat. Boy, that ball was tattooed. A no-doubter over the fence, and that puts a chink in the armor to Max Gray, who allows his 4th hit and 1st run of the night. Now Jake Goodrow scorches one just foul down the first base line. That was a missile just past Dale Gray, our first base coach tonight for the Monarchs. Gaudreau for 1 with a strikeout. 0-1 to him, backdoors him. A nice breaking ball from Gray for strike 2. And we're going to have more contests here throughout the week as the Monarchs will wrap up the season. 0-2, another hard hit ball on the ground, foul, pulled by Gaudreau. 0-2. So make sure to stay tuned to the Monarchs Twitter page at GLL_Monarchs and on Facebook, Lake Erie Monarchs. 0-2, a pop-up to center, shifting with the wind more towards left center. Fitzsimmons under it, makes the two-handed grab, out number 1. A run in for the Monarchs, and the score is 2-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Now the batter is Keegan Watson. Singled and was left at third inning, or at third in the third inning. Watson batting on the right side against the righty Gray, who delivers. Fastball up, ball 1. Max Gray making his second consecutive start this year for Grand Lake. Slings a strike. 1-1. Gray has not thrown over 4 innings this year, so he's starting to get a little closer towards when he would maybe exit the game. 1-1 on a line foul over the first base dugout, 1-2. So fatigue could quickly become an issue for Gray since he has not worked over 4 innings this year. 1-2. Curveball, swing and a miss. Watson ahead of the breaking ball. He's out of there on strikes. 4 punch-outs now for Max Gray. He has 1 in 4 of the 5 innings that he has thrown in today. Now Zach Schwarzenberger, the batter. Flew out to left center back in the third. Was robbed on a nice play by Fitzsimmons. He swings over top of a curveball that was about ankle high and inside, 0-1. Mike Schwarzenberger, Zach's dad, in attendance as he is on many nights. 0-1 is lined to the screen, back behind home, 0-2. Or Zach from Saline and plays baseball with the UT Rockets team. 0-2 from Gray. Curveball, a little bit outside. Just off the play, 1-2, says Mark Hanwald, our home plate umpire. Gray gets the sign and throws. Another breaking ball. This time it's over the outside corner at the knees. Strike 3. Second K, 5th of the game for Gray, his second of the inning. And he settled down pretty nicely after the solo homer from Casey O'Laughlin to start the inning. An absolute bomb gets the Monarchs on the board, but they still trail 2-1 as we are on to the 6th at Flat Rock Field. That's next. This is your home for Monarchs baseball. Sixth inning upon us as the Monarchs are hosting the Mariners here one final time in 2018. Mariners holding on to a 2-1 lead. Top of the order against Jonathan Fincher. They have not fared well against Fincher tonight. Called strike one to Blake Crossing, who has 2 prior strikeouts, one looking, one swinging. Top 3 in the order, 0 for 6 today. And a line drive to left, that's going to end that 0 for 6 with a base hit from Blake Crossing to left field. Over the head of Alex Lambo.
The first baseman, number 42.
Mariners get their 4th hit of the game, and they only have hits now in 2 innings in this game. The 3 hits that they had were all in the 2nd inning prior to that one from Crossing. Now Evan Spry, pitch low, ball 1. Spry with 2 strikeouts in the game. 1-0 count, nobody out in the 6th, 2-1 game. And a man at first, Crossing with a modest lead. Fincher will throw over to first to check the runner. We were talking about Fincher's prior performances, and his last start came against the Locos 6 days ago on Thursday night, the opener after the All-Star break. 1-0 is flown deep to left center field on his horse, O'Laughlin, and it will bounce up against the fence. Spry will have at least second base. Crossing's coming home, and the Grand Lake Mariners will get that run back that they just lost on the O'Laughlin homer. RBI double for Evan Spry, a ball that was nailed to the fence in left center. RBI for Spry. Spry picks up his 11th run batted into the season, and Grand Lake leads it 3-1. For Spry, that's his 7th double of the year. And they now have 49 as a team this season. They are finding alleyways tonight, are the Grand Lake Mariners. Pitch is a ball to Jake McCaw, 1-0. McCaw with 2 groundouts in the game. 3-1 Monarchs trail now. Being out hit 5-4. The pitch from Fincher. High fastball swung through for strike 1 by Jake McCaw. McCaw had an absolute bomb to make it 4-0 in yesterday's ball game. And Grand Lake got off to that 4-0 lead, just the way you drew it up if you want to break an 8-game losing streak. 1-1 fastball swing, fly ball hit the opposite way, left field corner. That will finish just short of the fence and foul. Right near the corner. You could tell that McCaw did not get all of that. The pitch handcuffed him just enough, couldn't pull his hands in to extend outward and take that baseball over the fence. So it's 1-2 now on McCaw. Dimensions of Flat Rock Field, 325 to that left field corner, 315 to the right field corner, 375 to dead center. Line drive to center, base hit. Up to third goes Evan Spry. 3 consecutive hits. They had 3 guys out of 4 that had 3 hits in the 2nd inning. This time they have 3 straight hits to really put Jonathan Fincher's appearance for lasting any longer here in trouble. Bradley Merritt has come out. There is a man warming in the Monarchs bullpen down the third base side. And Jonathan Fincher at this point is in the upper 80s in pitch count at 89. Just want to remind you fans that the Monarchs have 3 more home games in 2018. They are over the next 3 days. 2 against the Muskegon Clippers, 1 tomorrow night, 1 at Friday night, 7:05. And Saturday night at 7:05 as well, the Monarchs will host the Galleon Graders in the first of a home-and-home set. Monarchs season finale is Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock in Galleon, Ohio. So we hope you can come on out and enjoy Monarchs baseball while it still lasts. It's going quickly here in 2018. Been a quick season. Not quite as successful as the Monarchs would have liked, but many lessons learned under the tutelage of Tim Brown in his first year as the head coach, Bradley Merritt, the assistant coach and pitching coach in his first season. Tyson Hayes, the batter. Runners at the corners, nobody out in the sixth in the 3-1 game. Hayes takes a call and strike one at the knees. Hayes with a single, a ground out, and a run scored today out of the cleanup spot for the Grand Lake Mariners. We're here in the top of the sixth. 0-1. Finishes below the zone, ankle high to Hayes. 1 ball and 1 strike. Grand Lake, after scoring those 4 runs in the first inning yesterday, scored just 1 the rest of the way, while the Monarchs played at 11 to win it 11-5. 1-1. Ground ball. Nice stop by Balgard. Looks the runner back at third. Throws on to first for the out. Boy, that was a nifty play. Up to second in the process goes McCaw. Balgard's main focus was to make sure that run didn't score. And Spry was frozen at third base, had to stay put as Balgard slung on for the out to get Hayes. But now you got to deal with a guy who's been on twice tonight, Steven Fitzsimmons. A triple, and he's also been hit by a pitch. Infield's in, a curveball at the knees, inside corner, strike 1. 3-1 game in the sixth with 1 out. Fincher out of the windup, delivers. Another breaking ball. It's chopped in fair territory. Keegan Watson will go to the bag for out number 2. It stayed just fair, and the runners had to stay put. Well done by Watson to get to that ball as quickly as he could to make sure it stayed in fair territory because it was heading towards foul ground. And Steven Fitzsimmons didn't even move out of the left-handed batter's box. Neither of the runners even thought the ball was fair, but it was called fair by Mark Hannawald. Strike 1 to Logan Adams. So 2 outs just like that after 3 consecutive hits to start the inning. Fincher trying to minimize the damage. 0-1. Big cut and a miss from Adams. Nothing in 2. It's Spry at third and McCaw at second. One thing that the Monarchs have not done well this year is minimize damage in innings, especially earlier on in the season. 0-2, a ground ball over towards Prater, gets underneath him. Into right center field, this is going to bring home 2. Spry will score from third, McCaw from second, and a ball that could have been stopped by Prater instead will turn into a hit, and it's 5-1 Grand Lake now in the top of the sixth. Fielding continues to be a problem for the Monarchs here this year. Errors have cost them many games. It's a 3-run spot in the sixth to make it 5-1. And we don't have the official ruling on that one just yet. It will be a single to Will Prater. Ball 1 to R.J. Williams, who was singled and grounded out today. 1-0. Stays high, 2-0. So that is a 2 RBI single for Logan Adams with 2 strikes on him. Able to hit one hard. Adams picks up RBIs 10 and 11. Pitches low, ball 3. And well behind is Fincher 3-0. He's just trying to get through 6 innings. And it hurts him the most, 2 two-out runs. 3-0. High and tight, ball 4, and R.J. Williams is on for the second time tonight. Last thing you want to do if you're Bradley Merritt is take out Fincher with 2 outs. He was so close to getting out of this jam, but you may have to think about it if another man does reach here. Monarchs being out hit 7-4. The score is 5-1 in the top of the sixth. 3 runs are in already, and it looks like the call will be made as Fincher not super happy that he's going to have to come out of this game, but 3 runs coming in against him here in the sixth. Bradley Merritt having a word with Fincher, who is looking out behind the center field fence. Brad Merritt consoling him a bit. As a new pitcher is going to make his way into the ball game, Fincher will give up the ball in the top of the sixth. 3 runs in. Grand Lake ahead 5-1 in this set finale. We'll talk about the new pitcher after this break. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Nathan Haw, the new pitcher, a right-hander, will replace Jonathan Fincher. 5 runs on the board for the Mariners. They lead at 5-1 in the 6th. 3 runs in this inning. Justin Diaz will come up hacking and foul one away for strike 1. Diaz 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a ground out here today. Jonathan Fincher out after 5 2/3 innings. He is in line for his 2nd loss of the season. Pitch from Haw, grounded to the fencing behind home. No balls and 2 strikes. Nathan Haw will make his 11th appearance for the Monarchs here tonight. No record with a 2.84 ERA. Has a save in 12 2/3 innings pitched. Just 3 walks, 14 strikeouts, 11 hits permitted. 0-2. And Diaz will waste one away in the air, well to the right of home. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Haw is from Waterville, Ohio, the southwest portion of the Toledo metro area. 0-2. Fastball popped up. Again, out of play. Foul. Count remains the same. Nathan Haw is 6'2", 198 pounds. Just finished his freshman year at the University of Toledo. Another Toledo Rocket. Haw is 21 years old. Turned that age on February 17th. 0-2. Again, a foul ball. Line back to the fence. 0-2. You know, there were some observations from some of the Monarchs guys who are back behind home. Evan Floor, Lane Schnitz-Paxton, Brendan Lovell hanging out today and charting pitches and doing the pitch gun. Man, they were saying there are a lot of foul balls today, and I would agree. 0-2 put on the ground over to second. Prater has the routine play. Throws to first. Final out here in an eventful top of the 6th for the Grand Lake Mariners, who scored 3 runs on 4 hits and will leave a couple men on. Middle of the 6th is next. Monarchs down now 5-1. This is your home for Monarchs baseball. Lights coming on here at Flat Rock Field. The Monarchs bats have been mostly silenced here tonight, though, after a great game yesterday. 5-1, bottom of the 6th. Grand Lake has the advantage. Top of the order, though, the Monarchs will turn to Caleb Balgard, Will Prater, Alex Lambo against Max Gray. And Balgard swings the first pitch as a chopper to the left side. Almost cut off by Diaz, the third baseman. Instead, crossing will make the play and throw high and off the base. So we'll see what that's ruled. Caleb Balgard's able to get on base. and they'll give him an infield single on the play for Balgard. 5 hits now for the Monarchs as Will Prater comes to the plate. Just the way you need to start the inning against Max Gray. Make him uncomfortable from the start. Fastball just off the outside corner, ball 1. Single and a pop out for Will Prater tonight. What I was extremely impressed with after Max Gray allowed that home run to Casey O'Laughlin to begin the last inning, 1-0, and a pop-up foul left of home, 1-1. But Gray settled in nicely, got 2 strikeouts and a flyout from Jake Gaudreau, and the Monarchs never threatened again in the inning. 1-1 to the lefty Prater, fastball high and away, 2 balls and a strike. Grand Lake does not have anyone up in the bullpen, so they intend on having Gray go at least 6, probably longer. He entered the inning with 63 pitches. He is now about to throw number 68 right here. Fastball popped up, out of play. 2-2 on Will Prater. Lights are on as the sun is setting. Shadows across a decent part of the infield all the way to the mound where Max Gray is currently residing. Toes the slab on the right side. 2-2. Fastball high. Full count to Will Prater. Western Carolina, by my memory, is a school that is in Cullowhee, North Carolina. Cool town name for me. 3-2 outside, ball 4. A single and a walk will begin the bottom of the 6th inning for the Lake Erie Monarchs. Now Alex Lambo will come to the plate in a 5-1 game. Mariners lead. Bottom of the 6th, nobody out. Alex Lambo for 2 tonight, a line out and a strikeout. He'll try and get on base, bring up the tying run. But the bases loaded. Lambo will look at a fastball over the outside corner at the knees, strike 1. There are some gray clouds now up ahead, some pretty thick ones, but doesn't seem to be yielding any precipitation. But it is a touch frightening and a little darker. 0-1 skips away from the catcher Adams, allowing both runners to move up 90 feet. Wild pitch from Max Gray. And that'll be his second wild pitch of the game. Now I'm starting to feel just a smidge of rain, I believe. One. High and outside. 2 balls and a strike on Alex Lambo. Didn't know there was a possibility of rain here tonight. It's looking a bit menacing at the moment. 2-1. And a ground ball hit into left field for a base hit. Runner is coming home. Caleb Balgard. RBI single for Alex Lambo to drive in another run in this series, and the Monarchs are trying to come back. Down 5-2. Alex Lambo had a 2 RBI night last night, and he has an RBI now tonight, up to 21 for the season. 3 straight men have reached here in the bottom of the 6th. Grand Lake might have to start thinking about getting that bullpen going. I didn't really see that baseball off the bat. It was hit so hard by Lambo, but it sat down just in time before Williams was able to track it down. Now Gray is going to have Coach Hacker come out and have a word with him, and I think he's looking at his right thumb for a possible blister, maybe on his index finger. It's his thumb, and that's not good news because Gray has been great here tonight, and things have kind of gone sideways for him here in the 6th, but he's still only at 74 pitches through 5+ innings. But a run has come in to make it a 5-2 game. This could be a huge tilting point in the contest for the Monarchs, who are trying to crawl back and keep their postseason aspirations although very little aspirations, but keeping them alive somehow here tonight. So a pitcher is going to have to stretch quickly down the first base side, and this might be it for Max Gray. Tim Brown will have a quick word with Robert Bell, who is going to be the tying run at home plate. So you're going to have a pitcher come in cold here, essentially, if they cannot figure out things with Max Gray, and that's going to do it for Gray. So a new pitcher will be coming on after a single, a walk, and another single here to start off the inning. 5+ tonight for Max Gray, but a new pitcher going to have to take over in less than ideal conditions for the Grand Lake Mariners, who lead at 5-2 in the bottom of the sixth. The run is in for the Monarchs, and runners are on the corners. Stay tuned. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Welcome back to Flat Rock Field here in Flat Rock, Michigan. Bradley Calhoun is warming up and getting ready to go for the Grand Lake Mariners after Max Gray had to unexpectedly leave the game with what appeared to be a blister on his right thumb. Monarchs down 5-2 with runners on the corners, nobody out in the inning. So you wonder if that blister, which was forming on his thumb, hurt Max Gray's ability to throw effective pitches in this inning, because the Monarchs have a single, a walk, and another single here in the inning. So Robert Bell will come up 0 for 2, still batting from the left side. Strikeout and a flyout for Bell here tonight against Max Gray. Line is not complete on Max Gray, as he could potentially allow 4 runs here tonight. He has allowed 2 so far. Monarchs have gotten 1 in each of the last 2 frames. Robert Bell looking in at Bradley Calhoun, whose first pitch from the side armor misses low and away, ball 1. Bradley Calhoun is 6'3", 205 pounds, from Otterbein College, upcoming sophomore there. He is 20 years old, turned so on May 29th, just before the season. 1-0, slider, catches the inside corner. Bell is backing away from strike 1. Bradley Calhoun hails from Troy, Ohio, which is a little bit north of Dayton. Calhoun works from the stretch, lowers the glove to his belt, and fakes a throw over to first just to keep Alex Lambo in check. Lambo's the man at first, and Will Prater is at third, as Bradley Calhoun is now pitching. Break even to Bell. Well outside, 2 balls and a strike. Calhoun has a 1-0 record with an 8.59 earned run average. 11th game he has pitched in for the Mariners this year. 2-1. Side-armed up there. A fly ball hit deep to right field. McCaw backing up, still going back on the track in front of the fence. Reaches up and makes the catch. Trotting home from third base is Will Prater on the sacrifice fly hit by Robert Bell. Robert Bell drives in his 19th run of the year, and the Monarchs trail by just 2, 5-3. So they answer with the 3 spot, with a 2 spot after the Mariners scored 3 in the top half of the inning. Ball wasn't quite hit hard enough to leave the fence, to leave the yard. Now Andrew Dyke 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out here in the game. Pitch on the way and almost hit him well inside. Ball 1. We're here in the bottom of the 6th in a 5-3 game. Monarchs trailing. 1 out and Lambo's at first. Bradley Calhoun with a look over towards first and slings it sidearm. Strike called over the outer half, 1-1. 14 2/3 innings for Calhoun. 12 strikeouts, just 1 walk. That's getting it done. 18 hits allowed. Break even from Bradley. And it's a little inside. Stealing the base is Alex Lambo. So he took off and got second. No double play try now, unless a mistake is made by Lambo on the base paths. 3 steals and 6 attempts this year for Lambo. 2-1. Fastball low and away. It's backhanded by the catcher Adams, but able to move up once again is Alex Lambo, who is just 90 feet away. Ball initially was stopped and then able to get over there. A wild pitch will be given to the catcher Adams. 3rd wild pitch of the game on Grand Lake. 3-1 outside, ball 4. Tying run on the base paths with just 1 out here in the 6th. Monarchs down 5-3.
From Northwestern University, center fielder, number 33.
This will be the 6th batter of the inning. It's Casey O'Laughlin, who has popped out and hit a solo homer already tonight. He is a dangerous batter for Calhoun to be dealing with in this spot. Calhoun's pitch slung in for ball 1. Last appearance was a short one 3 days ago in Muskegon for Bradley Calhoun. Got 1 out, allowed a hit, faced just 2 batters. 3rd of an inning. What was a 7-1 loss for Grand Lake, part of this 8-game slide. 1-0 to Casey. And it's slung right down the middle, but O'Laughlin was in front of it and chopped it foul into the first base dugout. Even it up, a ball and a strike with 1 out in the 6th. And a 5-3 game. Dyke takes his lead off of first. Modest lead at 3rd for Alex Lambo. Here's the pitch. Inside, nearly hitting O'Laughlin. 2-1. Lights are on and creeping more and more into effect with the dark gray cloud overhead. Sunset now being blocked by the clouds. 2-1 is lifted to left center field. Crossing going out, still going out, makes the catch. In shallow left center. Just able to get back in time to make the catch. Almost a humpback liner that found its way into left center. But instead it's an out, and O'Laughlin is 1 for 3. He's had 2 of those in the direction of crossing tonight. Monarchs have runners at first and third, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, 2 runs in. They are down 5-3. Jake Goodrow 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout tonight. Calhoun's pitch is a fly ball hit towards center field. Back deep goes Fitzsimmons, still going back at the track, at the wall. It's gone, a home run for Jake Goodrow, who knew it off the bat. 3-run shot for Jake Goodrow. And the Monarchs take their first lead of the night here in the bottom of the 6th on a 3-run blast from Goodrow to make it 6-5. Goodrow hits his 4th home run, RBIs 11 through 13. And just as you know it, this game has changed and did a complete 180. 6-5 Monarchs, bottom 6th. On the Goodrow home run to dead center field. That was no cheapie. Impressive shot from Goodrow. Swinging a foul ball by Keegan Watson. Starts off this at bat, 0-1. A 5-run inning for the Monarchs, and they have again erased a big deficit. They've erased a 2-0 and now 5-1 lead tonight to take a 6-5 lead. 0-1. Calhoun. Well, watch that pitch go outside on him. 1-1. Calhoun has allowed 3 runs or more in 3 of those 10 appearances this year. And a ground ball hit back to the mound. Calhoun has it. Underhanded toss to first will do it in the bottom of the 6th. But boy, oh boy, what an inning. RBI single for Alex Lambo, a sac fly for Robert Bell, and then a 3-run homer from Jake Goodrow. Just like that, Monarchs have the lead 6-5 as we venture to the 7th inning here in Flat Rock. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Different ball game as we head to the 7th inning. Van Acker leads off the events against Nathan Haw in a 6-5 game. Kevin Peel here with you on the Monarchs Radio Network. Thanks so much for tuning in. Nathan Haw will skip one past the catcher Jake Goodrow for ball 1 to begin the 7th. Van Acker 0 for 2 with a pop-out and a strikeout. 9-1-2 in the Grand Lake order. 1-0. And Acker with a fly ball deep to left field. Back goes Schwarzenberger. He is at the fence, and he'll reach up to make the catch. And it's just been that type of stretch for Van Acker. I think he had a bat tossed. He tossed the bat thinking that he'd hit a home run, but it hung up there. Was hit too high, and it's out number 1. And Van Acker now is 0 for his last 20. He did walk last night, but the swoon continues for Acker. And now Blake Crossing will step in on the right side for the first time. Strike 1 delivered to him. Crossing singled and scored in the 6th. Otherwise, 2 strikeouts tonight. Pitch from Haw. A breaking ball that doesn't come back over. 1-1. So Jonathan Fincher, who left in line for the loss, which would have been his second of the season, receives a no decision. Also, 2 does Max Gray, who allowed 4 runs now, crossing fastball over the outside edge, 1-2 to him. So Gray receives a no decision. We'll go through his full line a little later. Bradley Calhoun in line for the loss of this score holds. 1-2, skips away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Haw, no record, 2.84 ERA, 11th appearance, as I was mentioning, in the last inning. His last game was July 20th. 2-2 fastball, grounded past Balgard at third into left field. Second consecutive hit for Blake Crossing. 8 hits now for the Mariners. They are out hitting the Monarchs, but trailing on the scoreboard 6-5. Grand Lake last night also out hit the Monarchs 7-6, but lost the game 11-5. A lot of miscues on the night for Grand Lake. Evan Spry pitched to him is just off the plate, ball 1. Spry with a double, an RBI, and 2 strikeouts tonight. Also has scored a run. 3 runs in the top of the 6th inning for the Grand Lake Mariners, answered by the Monarchs with 5. 1-0 just below the knees, 2-0. And it's 6-5 Monarchs here in the 7th. Some stretching going on in the bullpen down the third base side for Grand Lake. 2-0 fastball at the knees over the heart. 2-1. The Mariners in the month of July are 4-12. They've won just 3 of their last 15 games and have lost 8 straight. 2-1 fastball on the ground over to third. Great backhand by Balgard. To second for 1. Throw to first from Prater. Double play. 5-4-3 around the horn. Ground ball double play hit into by Evan Spry. Excellent execution from Balgard to stop that hard hit grounder right at him. He's had a great defensive night. So too have the Monarchs. And that double play gets them out of the top of the 7th with nothing coming across. Stretch time here in Flat Rock, 6-5 Monarchs up. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Zach Schwarzenberger leads off the bottom of the 7th inning against a new pitcher, Jonah Jenkins. Fastball is fouled off for strike 1. 6-5 Monarchs in the lead in a bit of an improbable fashion here tonight. 0-1. And a fly ball scorched towards left center It puts Fitzsimmons on the run once again. Fitzsimmons on the warning track will haul it in. Zach Schwarzenberger personally tonight has a vendetta against that left center field alleyway. He got robbed of a double in the third inning by Fitzsimmons and now flies one deep to that part of the ballpark that Fitzsimmons was able to run down. So Schwarzenberger's 0 for 3 tonight. First down here in the bottom of the seventh, quickly done by Jonah Jenkins, upcoming freshman at Dartmouth College. First pitch to Caleb Balgard. He swings out in front of a pitch, strike one. Balgard, 2 singles tonight and a pop-out. He had an infield single and later scored in that 6th inning. Jenkins sails one away, 1-1. Jonah Jenkins is the first Colorado player that I have seen in this league this year. He's from Parker, Colorado, 6'1", 190 pounds. 1-1, chasing a high fastball was Balgard, and his swing was so aggressive that his bat hit off of the catcher's glove of Adams. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. 6-5 game. 6'1", 190 is Jenkins, a right-hander. With a 2-0 record, a 3.24 ERA, 8 games pitched in previously. 16 2/3 innings, 18 strikeouts, 8 walks, 17 hits. 1-2, and Balgard swings and misses, strike 3. Jenkins will pick up his first strikeout, 6th strikeout for the Mariners pitching staff here tonight. There are 2 quick outs in the 7th. Now Will Prater will have an opportunity. 1 for 2 is Prater with a single back in the first, a pop out, and a walk and a run scored in the 6th. Monarchs by 1 in the 7th. Pitch from Jonah Jenkins is a fastball inside, ball 1. So Bradley Calhoun, who gave up that 3-run homer in the 6th, is now in line for the loss here tonight. 1-0. Prater with a chopper foul into the first base dugout of the Mariners, 1-1. Bradley Calhoun threw 17 pitches, threw an inning, faced 5, 1 walk, 1 hit. It was a home run. 2 earned runs, a wild pitch over the inside corner, strike 2 to Prater, who's behind 1-2. And 2 inherited runners able to come in and score. Max Gray now with 4 runs allowed. 1-2 outside, even it up 2-2. And Gray will receive a no decision after exiting the game 3 batters into the bottom of the 6th without retiring a batter. 2-2. And Will Prater will foul one off well over the third base grandstands down the third base line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deuce is wild for Will Prater and the Monarchs in the 7th. Quickly ready is Jenkins, the pitch. High and away. Fill it up, 3-2 on Prater. Left-handed batter against the righty Jonah Jenkins, who will turn 20 years old on January 20th. Quite a ways off. 3-2, fastball, inside out swing over to first. Spry will field and go to the bag by himself. Out number 3, it's a 1-2-3 inning turned in by Jonah Jenkins in the bottom of the 7th. Monarchs take a 6-5 lead to the 8th inning at Flat Rock Field. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. We're in the 8th here at Flat Rock Field. Monarchs 6, Mariners 5. Kevin Peel with you here, bringing you the play-by-play accounts and descriptions. Thanks so much for tuning in. Jake McCaw leads off against Nathan Haw. First pitch is aired to center field. O'Loughlin lost it at first. He's going back, way back, and it's over the fence to tie the game. Jake McCaw hits his second home run in as many nights, and on one pitch, this game is deadlocked at 6. McCaw hits his third home run, RBI number 24, and he's now 2 for 4 tonight. Neither team wanting to give an inch. 2 home runs to dead center field tonight. And Nathan Haw now will allow the run to make it 6-6. Pitches outside low, ball 1 to Tyson Hayes. Single and 2 groundouts tonight. That really got the Mariners' first base dugout going. 1-0. Hayes with a line drive right in left field. Schwarzenberger backing up, took the wrong route. It's over his head and up against the fence. On his way to second with a double is Tyson Hayes. 2 extra base hits to start things off in the top of the 8th inning, and Grand Lake's into double figures with 10 hits now. Not what the Monarchs were hoping for. And just like that, now their back's up against the wall, trying to keep the lead with nobody out, or the tie, I should say. Bunt shown and missed by Fitzsimmons, strike 1. Fitzsimmons with a triple, an RBI. A run scored, has also been hit by a pitch and grounded out tonight. 6-6 game in the 8th. Gaining his lead at second is Hayes. The pitch is outside. 1-1. Hayes picked up his first 2-base hit of the season a moment ago. Crazy to think that was his first. 1-1 is low. 2-1 count on Steven Fitzsimmons, number 5 man in the order. Monarchs were down 2-0 heading to the bottom of the 5th. That was an O'Loughlin went yard to make it 2-1. 2-1 on the ground over towards first. That will get foul, though, as Watson fields it just to the right of the foul line. 2-1 after 5. Grand Lake put up 3 in the top of the 6th to make it 5-1, so they look to be in pretty good shape. Then the Monarchs put up 5 in their half of the 6th to take a 6-5 lead. Now a run in the 8th has tied it. 2-2 from Nathan Haw. Curveball, a little line drive hit right towards the third base bag, and Balgard will run up and make the catch. First out here in the top of the 8th. But you start to get the feeling, especially after that 5-run 6th inning that the Monarchs had, they seem to be chasing it all night, and then Gaudreau hit the 3-run homer. It seems like it's going to be one of those crazy back-and-forth games, and we're getting that tonight. Pitch is put on the ground, a shattered bat towards second. Prater fields to the left side of the second base bag, throws off balance. What a play by Will Prater to get the out on a broken bat. And if it wasn't for the broken bat, that would have been an easy single into center field and maybe a go-ahead run. But instead, Logan Adams is 1 for 4 with a 2-run single tonight. So we're tied at 6th. The go-ahead run is at third base for Grand Lake, and R.J. Williams will stride to the plate. Single, a ground out, and a walk for Williams tonight. He also has driven one in. Infield playing straight away on Williams despite his speed. Fastball low and away, 1-0. Playing a couple paces to the left of the second base bag out in center field is Casey O'Loughlin. And Schwarzenberger playing a bit up and left. Dyke normal depth and right. 1-0. Cut and a miss by Williams. 1-1. Nathan Haw, can he minimize the damage and keep it tied? 1-1, just tails outside, 2-1. Nathan Haw from Anthony Wayne High School. As I've mentioned before, a powerhouse baseball program in Northwest Ohio. 2-1. Fastball outside and high, 3-1. Division I program that went to the state semifinal game this year in Columbus and lost. But it was the first trip there in quite some time for Mark Nell's program. 3-1 over the outside half, up in the zone. 3-2 to R.J. Williams. Bowling Green State University Falcon dealing with the Toledo Rocket. A fascinating matchup. Who will get the better of the other one? Payoff to Williams. Fastball line to the backstop. A seventh pitch of the at-bat will be coming in a full count. All throws in the mid-80s with that fastball, upwards of 85 at times for the Monarchs. Key reliever for the UT Rockets program. 3-2. Breaking ball rung him up, strike three. Williams was frozen by the pitch. Haw will record his first strikeout, and the Grand Lake Mariners will leave the go-ahead run at third base. But they do get 2 hits in the inning and a run on a solo blast from Jake McCaw to dead center field. Bottom of the 8th is next. Monarchs and the Mariners tied at 6. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Alex Lambo looks to get a rally going for the Monarchs to try and get the lead back. Bottom of the 8th inning, we are all tied at 6. Jonah Jenkins out for his second inning of work. The pitch from Jenkins, a bender for strike one at the knees, outer half. Alex Lambo with an RBI single back in the 6th, also scored a run, a line out, and a strikeout tonight. 1 for 3. 0-1 breaking ball, grounded to the left side, crossing backhands, moving to his right, throws to first on target. Out number 1. Nifty play there for Crossing. Now Robert Bell will bat with 1 down in a 6-6 game, bottom of the 8th. Bell 0 for 2 with a sac fly tonight. That also came in the busy 6th inning. Pitch to Bell. Fastball high and away, a ball 1. Another nice crowd on hand tonight, taking in this Monarchs-Mariners final matchup of the year. Clippers come to town tomorrow after their series with the Locos is complete. Bell tried to slap a bunt on the third base line, but sent it right back to the mound. That's easy for Jenkins. Out number 2 on just 4 pitches for Jonah Jenkins, who has made it look easy through 5 batters in the 8th, 7th, and 8th.
From the University of Illinois Champaign, the right fielder,
Jonah Jenkins has allowed more than 1 earned run in appearance just once this year, but it was a bit misleading because he allowed all 3 runs in a win over the Leprechauns back on June 19th. Strike 1 of the knees to Andrew Dyke, 0-1. Dyke 0 for 2 with a walk and a run tonight. 0-1. Fastball outside and low, even it up 1-1. Face 9, walked 3, struck out 2, allowed 2 hits in that inning back on June 19th in Adrian. 1-1 is popped up right side, right near the line. Spry struggling to find it in the lights, now does, and catches it right on the line. Out number 3. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Jonah Jenkins, and he does so in just 7 pitches. Ninth inning coming up, tied at 6. You are listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Brandon Williams, the new hurler in the top of the ninth inning for the Lake Erie Monarchs in a 6-6 ball game. Justin Diaz will lead off the inning against Williams. Acker and Crossy will also bat. Strike one called to Justin Diaz. 2 groundouts and a fielder's choice hit into by Diaz today. He is hitless. And the 0-1. And Brandon Williams deals a strike, no balls and 2 strikes. Williams becomes the third pitcher of the game for Lake Erie as he relieves Nathan Haw. 0-2. And a curveball is grounded foul on the third base line. 0-2. Nathan Haw able to go 2 1/3 tonight for the Monarchs in relief of Jonathan Fincher. 0-2, popped up foul out of play. Still 0-2 on Justin Diaz, who's been the foul ball king here today. He's fouled off 7 pitches for the last 2 at-bats alone. 0-2 from Williams, and it bounces in and past Jake Gaudreau, the backstop. 1-2. Hawes' final line, 33 pitches in 2 1/3, faced 9, struck out 1, 3 hits, and 1 earned run. Also allowed a home run, his first of those allowed this season. 6-6 game in the ninth. Diaz takes inside. 2-2 on the man, Justin Diaz. Brandon Williams making his third appearance of the year for Lake Erie. 2-2, low. Able to lay off is Diaz. And this is by far the highest leverage situation for the junior from Wayne State. 6'3", 205 pounds. 3-2. Ground ball hit over towards third, gets past Balgard down the line. Diaz will round first and head to second, and that will be a hit against, that will be a double for Justin Diaz. Hit number 11 for the Grand Lake Mariners, and that's a good start to this inning. Another extra base hit tonight for the Grand Lake Mariners, who have had plenty of those. They're trying to break the tie here in the 9th. And a bunt shown, put up in the air, and it will get foul. Van Acker popped it straight up behind home. But Gaudreau could not track it down. No balls and a strike. Five extra base hits tonight for the Grand Lake Mariners in their 11 hits. They've been routinely able to get more than Knox. And now Acker puts a bunt down towards Williams on the mound. Throw over to first will get the man. 1-4 bunt. He's retired as Van Acker. But when you have a guy who's struggling to hit the baseball, that is as good of a way to make yourself an impact player. That's what Van Acker just did, moving Justin Diaz over to third with 1 out in the 9th in a 6-6 game. Here's Blake Crossing. Blake Crossing 2 for 4 with 2 singles tonight. Swinging a foul ball to the backstop, no balls and a strike. 0-1 from Williams to Blake Crossings. Foul back to the screen, no balls and 2 strikes. Thank you for your patience for a moment. In that silence, I had to go let the Grand Lake Mariners broadcaster Donovan Mann know that Brandon Williams was pitching. Williams is listed on the Monarchs roster as being number 27, but he has taken over number 10. 0-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Blake Crossing down on 3 pitches. And there are 2 outs now in the top of the 9th. That's a huge out. But not completely out of the woods yet is Brandon Williams. He has to get one more man. Bradley Merritt's going to come out and have a quick word. I don't know if he's going to take the baseball or not. A lefty is up and warming. And nope, Merritt's going to have him keep the baseball. Nope, he's going to make the call. So Williams appears to be on a pitch count of some sort, or they just want to get some more work in for another pitcher. Brandon Williams faced just 3 batters and threw 13 pitches, and now they'll make way for the all-star Alex Tice. So while Brandon Williams did allow a double, all things considered, he did pretty well for himself. But that run that is currently at third base, that runner is his responsibility as he exits the game. 6-6 tie, top of the 9th. Alex Tice is on. We'll talk more about him next on monarchsradio.com. So the Monarchs use their third arm of the night for just 3 batters. Brandon Williams allows a hit, strikes out 1, gets 2 outs, face 3 through 13 pitches, and makes way for Alex Tice, who will try and retire Evan Spry to get out of this jam in the 9th. The man is at third with 2 outs in a 6-6 game. Lefty-lefty matchup, Tice against Spry. And the pitch is high and sails to the backstop. This will get away, and the go-ahead run's going to score on a wild pitch from Alex Tice. The run will be given to Brandon Williams, who is on the hook for the loss at this point in time, and Grand Lake leads it 7-6 on the wild pitch. Setting up outside was Goudreau, and the throw went high and in, and that is a tough break for the Monarchs. 1-0 pitch is a little high, ball 2. So Alex Tice will allow an inherited runner to score here today. That is the first run that Williams has allowed this year in 2 2/3 innings. 2-0 is inside outed. Diving catch made by Caleb Balgard in foul ground. Catching the line drive to end the inning, although fortunately it wasn't a pitch or two earlier. As the Monarchs give up the lead on a wild pitch from Alex Tice. And heading to the bottom of the 9th inning, the Grand Lake Mariners are on the precipice of ending their 8-game losing streak. Down 7-6, or up 7-6. You are listening to Monarchs Baseball. Jonah Jenkins is out to try and lock up his own win tonight. 7-6 Grand Lake in the bottom of the 9th. Fastball inside, ball 1 to Casey O'Laughlin. Monarchs have 2 lefties to start against Jenkins and 1 righty, but Jenkins has been lights out. 1-0 fastball is spiked into the dirt, 2-0. We have had a couple raindrops start to come down here at Flat Rock Field. Not what we were expecting tonight, although it's not heavy in any way. 2-0. Swing and a miss by O'Laughlin. 2 balls and a strike. So, especially if we are expecting maybe a little more rain, we are definitely going to get out of here quickly here on the postgame. 2-1 is grounded over to second. Should be routine for Acker. Slings it on to first just in time to get the man O'Laughlin running hard. 1 up, 1 down for the Monarchs here in the bottom of the 9th. Boy, that wild pitch would be a tough way to lose a game. Alex Tice's first pitch coming in for Brandon Williams. Sailed one to the backstop behind home, giving Grand Lake the lead. Here's Jake Goudreau. 3-run homer, a strikeout, and a flyout tonight. They need another long ball to tie it. Strike 1. 0-1. That was a ball hit just to the right of dead center field. A pretty shot to give the Monarchs the lead. 0-1, a hanging breaking ball is fouled back, 0-2. And we've seen throughout time here as the season has progressed, more of these pitchers throwing breaking balls to Goudreau because he was a pretty much all fastball hitter before. 0-2, grounded softly over to first. That will stay in fair territory. Spry gets to the bag, out number 2. Monarchs down to their final out in the bottom of the 9th, trailing 7-6, and it will be up to Keegan Watson against Jonah Jenkins, who is looking to get 9 consecutive batters retired to end this game. Talk about locking down after Bradley Calhoun surrendered the lead in the 6th inning. Ball outside, 1-0. But you almost expect when you had a back-and-forth game like this one turned out, a run to come in that fashion like it did in the 9th. Big swing and a miss from Watson, 1-1. Watson with a single, a strikeout, and a ground out here tonight. 1-1. And a ground ball off the pitcher. It's knocked down towards second. Getting to it, Acker throws to first, and Watson will be out, and that's the ball game. 1-4-3. That's it. And the Grand Lake Mariners win their first game in 2 weeks, snapping an 8-game losing streak and salvaging a split in this series and the season series by a final count of 7-6 tonight. Monarchs go down in order in the bottom half of the 9th inning here this evening. And when you look at the box score, you don't see many guys left on the base paths. It was really amazing. In fact, it's definitely the fewest that we've seen this year, men left on the base paths. Well, we'll start first on the line score for the Grand Lake Mariners. They score 7 runs on 11 hits. They commit no defensive miscues and leave 4 men on the base paths here tonight. The Lake Erie Monarchs score 6 runs on 7 hits, no errors. They leave just 2 men on base, 1 in the first and 1 in the third. That is it. And that kind of shows you maybe a limited amount of opportunities as well. Grand Lake improves to 16-21 on the season, ending their season worst 8-game losing streak. The Monarchs shocked here tonight. They fall to 16-20-1, and any hope for them to make the postseason is definitely come to a close now here this year, as the Monarchs have just 4 games remaining and are going to be too far behind the Saginaw Sugar Beets or Muskegon Clippers at this point in the season. The Grand Lake Mariners now are 5-12 in the month of July. The Monarchs fall to 6-8 at home at Flat Rock Field this year. They will have an opportunity, if they win their last 3 home games, to ultimately get over 500 in record. Jonah Jenkins will be given the victory today to improve to 3-0. Boy, was he magnificent in 3 lights-out innings of work here, really being a calming force for a Grand Lake team that was searching for that victory and finally got it here today. Alex Tice allows the wild pitch and the inherited runner to score, but the loss is going to go to Brandon Williams here today. And the time of game will be 2 hours and 21 minutes, ending up at 9:25 p.m. tonight. In front of a nice crowd at Flat Rock Field, but the Monarchs fall by a final count of 7-6. And the Monarchs will now have to deal with the Muskegon Clippers for the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday home matchups for the Lake Erie Monarchs as they look to get back to their winning ways. Grand Lake will head home for a home-and-home series with the Saginaw Sugar Beets. Their home game is tomorrow at 7:05 at Montgomery Field. They then have to head to Saginaw for a 4:05 matchup on Friday against the Sugar Beets. They finish with a home-and-home against their rival, the Lima Locos. And the Monarchs, of course, will finish with a home-and-home against the Galleon Graders. One final time, the Lake Erie Monarchs, they lose by a final count of 7-6 tonight at home at Flat Rock Field. You have been listening to Lake Erie Monarchs Baseball on monarchsradio.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am Kevin Peel saying have a great night, everybody. 7-6 Monarchs fall in the series finale. Have a good one.